Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode. Today, we're going to be talking about a question that we hear all the time. And the answer is actually different for different people. So there's not one answer for everybody. So if you've ever wondered where to put education on your resume, this is the episode for you. I'm here with my co host, Dave. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Vince. Thank you.
So, Dave, on your resume, where is your education section now? And has it always been there your entire career?
Yeah. So for me, if I have to be honest, it might not even make it. Yeah, given that I'm old, my education just isn't that relevant, to be honest. Now, it might be relevant for networking reasons, also to like build a connection with someone. If I know that we've got we went to the same school, it really becomes more of a way to build connection than to really build credential. Given where I am in my career. Now, if I was just coming straight out of school, then obviously it's super important to build credentials because that's companies want to see that you're qualified. So does my education help build the case for me being qualified for this position? And so that's, in my case, that's kind of where it would probably be.
So this is something that oftentimes people ask. And the reality is it's a different answer for everybody. Like you just heard Dave's answer. My answer is it probably is on my resume, but it's at the bottom of my resume. But it hasn't always been at the bottom of my resume my entire career. So a general rule of thumb is if you are currently a student, doesn't matter what level of student, whether that's in high school, whether you're doing your bachelor's degree, your master's degree, your doctorate, your education is likely on the top of your resume, especially if you're currently in school. If you are looking for the job post graduation, that latest degree is still on the top of your resume. Now, as you get 1 to 2 to 3 jobs out from the time that you graduated, that's when your education section can start moving further down or towards the bottom of your resume. The other thing is level of detail and like information that you put in that education section. So, Dave, for like a current college student, what are the things that should be in that education section?
So because you want to customize your resume, right, the main thing is your resume needs to be the job of the resume is to prove that you are qualified for this job that you're applying for. So what I would do is look at the JD and see if there's things that you've done over the course of your time at school that you can call out. If the job is in marketing and you took specific marketing courses, maybe address those. But I wouldn't just sort of spread out general achievements during your education. You want to make the strong case for yourself, and you're allowed to tell that story. So pick out the things from your time in school that best present you for the job.
Yeah, that's a really great point. We kind of flew over JD, but JD is the job description. That just means that job posting. So when you go to LinkedIn, when you go to Indeed and you're reading the, paragraph of text that the employer is putting out with kind of their ideal wish list for a candidate, that's just called the JD or the job description. So if you are involved in an accounting club and a marketing club, you can put marketing club under education for jobs related to marketing, but only put accounting club for jobs that you're applying to that are related to accounting. Now, the other thing there is, should you put your GPA? Generally, generally, if it's your job right after you graduate and your GPA is above 3.5, 3.6, then yes, you absolutely could put your GPA, Latin honors, all of that stuff is good. If your GPA is below 3.5, probably can leave GPA off and you're good. You can just put city, state, graduation year, or expected graduation year, what degree you are getting at the university. But you don't necessarily have to put your GPA if it's under 3.5. Some employers require it. A lot of times, if you apply at consulting firms and things like that, then they might even be asking for GPA in the application. But that's what to do with GPA. And over time, you can actually include less and less detail. So, somebody who, for instance, is applying for a finance manager job, it's their fourth job after they graduated from their MBA. You don't need to put that you were the president of such and such club while you were at your university. You can start pulling those details off. And at that point, you could even pull your GPA off of there as well. You just put the university or college that you went to, the degree that you got in the year that you graduated. And then over time, common question that we hear all the time, do you have to put your graduation year? And the answer to that is no. Over time, you could actually pull that off as well. And sometimes companies even prefer that because companies don't want to know how old people are when they're applying at those companies, it opens up some legal liability for companies. And so they just prefer not to know. And so as a result, you absolutely can pull that off. Dave, did I miss anything on education?
Yeah, another thing I've seen people do is put their last degree. If you're really tight for space, if you've got a master's degree, it's implied that you have a bachelor's degree. I'd say only do that if it's really tight for space. At that point, you really should just be putting the school, your degree in the year, so it shouldn't take that much space. But I have seen that done if you need to. But I think we've kind of covered all the bases.
Awesome. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We'll see you next time.